It's the amazing Rico Brogna podcast with your host, Evan Roberts.
Rico Brogna, a drive home edition of Rico Brogna as the New York Mets escape. They hold on for dear life. They beat the freaking Philadelphia Phillies at Citi Field by a final score of 5-4. We had to sweat it out, but I'm going to be honest with you, I was never fully nervous. As much as Pete Hoffman and some other Met fans don't trust Edwin Diaz, even when Edwin Diaz gave up the bomb, the Bryson stop, I took a deep breath. This. And then Jet told me, I hope he gives up a hit so the game could end on a double play. And I said, no, thank you. Let's just get Trey Turner out. Let's get Bryce Harper out. And let's call it a day. And let's not allow the almost collapse, because that's what it was. They actually didn't collapse. Do not allow the almost collapse to cloud another absolutely ridiculous pitching effort by the New York Mets. Really, until the ninth inning, until Max Kranick gave up the couple of base hits in a row and Edwin gave up the bomb, the Bryson stot, this Met pitching staff, by Tyler McGill to Reed Garrett to 2 good innings from Kranick until the end, absolutely shut down Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, Nick Castellanos, and this vaunted Philadelphia Philly offense. The pitching lab is going to start to become one of legends because it continues to defy odds how good the Met pitching has been. Tyler McGill wasn't perfect by any stretch. He threw 1 million pitches. He had a very economical 5th inning, which really helped them. Or I think it was a 4th inning that was very economical because over the first 3 innings of this game, I mean, he was throwing tons of pitches. I think he was at about 62 pitches through 3 innings, but to his credit, he made the big pitch when he had to. Sorry, I'm adjusting my my beautiful camera because I'm out of red light. Now I'm out of green light. This is the big turn I make on Northern Boulevard where you don't want to run someone over. It would be very easy to run someone over because there's usually tons of people crossing, but I'm very careful. Now, there is someone in that aqua blue Trey Turner jersey. I could hit the gas and hit them. It actually reminds me of a story. Many years ago, I'll put my dad on blast. We were driving to Shea Stadium at the time, and we were at a red light. And my dad is about to go because the light is turning green, and this kid, and he must have been like 15 years old. Like, when I say kid, I don't mean like 7. I mean like 15, 16 years old. He walks in the middle of the road. My dad goes, then he stops. And I would say that my dad gave him a love tap. Like, he hit him, but it wasn't horrible. It wasn't vicious. He didn't break a leg. He didn't fall down or anything. But what I'll never forget about that moment is the guy was wearing a Yankee jersey. The kid was wearing a Yankee jersey. And my dad, without missing a beat, just turns to me and says, F him, he was a Yankee fan. I mean, I'm glad a police officer didn't hear or the kid's family didn't hear. But, yeah, I was thinking that as I made the turn on Northern Boulevard and could have given a love tap to a Trey Turner jersey. There were Philly fans in the building. And we certainly heard that when the 3-run home run was hit by Stott, because there were 2 gentlemen sitting behind us in the 300s who were just screaming their lungs off, like, yeah, here we go. What I don't understand about that, and I've been in many a visiting ballpark, and maybe it's my negativity as a fan, if I watch someone hit a 3-run home run that pulls my team within 1, but I only have 2 outs to play with in the 9th inning, I'm not exactly brimming with confidence. So I probably wouldn't get up and scream because the odds are I'm going to lose the game anyway. I remember back in the Subway World Series, Kurt Abbott, not Kurt Abbott, Jay Payton hit a home run against Mariano Rivera, one of the very few people that hit a postseason home run of Mariano Rivera. And Jay Payton goes the other way, hits a home run, we're all excited. And as Payton's rounding the bases, I'm realizing, why am I excited? There's 2 outs in the 9th inning. And it pulled the Mets within 1. And I'm like, great, would I be pumped up if I was down to my final out, down by a run? So in this case, I know they had Turner and Harper coming up, but you're down to your final 2 outs, and you're down by a run. So I get it, you're excited, the game is getting interesting, but I wouldn't exactly be brimming with confidence that my team was going to pull it out. But let me get back to the pitching. This continues to just defy odds how well the Mets are pitching, because offensively, look, they scored 5 runs today. They get the 2 solo home runs early. Obviously, Francisco Lindor continues to be on just a rampage. They get the home run by Jesse Winker against Aaron Nola. It's funny, Winker did not have great career numbers against Aaron Nola until the playoffs last year. Hits the home run there, hits the home run in this game. But outside of that, the offense didn't do anything. They had a few scoring opportunities. Soto hits the foul home run. But outside of that, like, the Met offense continues to be good enough, would be the way I'd phrase it, but not great. Not clicking on all cylinders until they broke the game open, or at least we thought they broke the game open in the ninth inning. Or in the eighth inning. This continues to be about pitching that doesn't make any sense. You know, Tyler McGill goes, you're 5 scoreless, 5+ scoreless, 5 2/3 scoreless, if we're being exact. They get big outs out of the bullpen. Really, they get big outs from everybody, because the starting pitchers are not dominating. They're putting themselves in tough spots. McGill had some control issues, but he makes the big pitch when he needs to. And I don't think any of us expect this to continue. David Stearns met the media on Monday, and he said as much. Like, you can't expect the team ERA to remain in the low 2s. But, man, it is a joy to watch. As someone who loves pitching, who would rather watch my team win 2-1 than 9-8, obviously beggars can't be choosers. I'll take my wins however they get them. It is a joy to watch this pitching staff 1 through 12, 1 through 13, because everybody, for the most part, has stepped up. So you get Reed Garrett getting the big outs. You get Max Kranick, and give Kranick credit. I know you may think about the ninth inning where he needed to give away to Edwin Diaz, but the seventh inning, the eighth inning that he pitched, he did that in a 2-run game. Remember, Kranick comes into this game after Garrett gets the big outs to end the sixth, and you're looking for a seventh inning with a 2-run lead, an eighth inning with a 2-run lead, and Kranick gets the job done. He has entered the circle of trust, even the end, even the base runners that he allowed in that ninth inning does not eliminate him from the circle of trust. I think Mendy was just trying to push the envelope a little bit and see if he could really save his pen with 2 more games before the next off day. But at the end of the day, you got to win. You got to find a way to win a baseball game. And to the credit of Mendy and Edwin Diaz, you don't mess around. And I got a text from, I forget who it was. Oh, no, I do know who it was. It was in my Mets text chat. My good buddy Fantasy Phil, who I love. And Fantasy Phil, after Diaz gives up the home run, gives me a hoff. He texts, I'm done with Diaz. And as he's writing that, and the game is not over yet, I go back to what I brought up on the last Rico Brogna, which is, if you don't believe in Edwin Diaz, who do you believe in? If you think he stinks and you don't trust him, look around baseball and give me the list of closers that you would put above him. We are not exactly living in the golden age of dominant closers. Mariano Rivera is not walking through that door. And even though Edwin Diaz hurts his ERA in a game like this, it's in the high 5s, he hasn't failed yet. Like, think about it that way. Other than when he came into the Marlins game, the one game the Mets have lost at home, which is unbelievable as we sit here in late April, other than letting a 2-run game become a blowout that day and not being able to get those 3 outs, even when Diaz bends, and certainly a game like this counts as bending, he does not break, or at least he has not broken so far. So when I hear I'm done with Diaz, I don't trust Diaz, okay, who do you trust? Make me a list of closers that you trust. Now, let me give some credit to my son Jet, who not only made it through 9 innings, which I always think is impressive. Thank you, son. I mean, he's always made it through 9 innings, but nevertheless, I still appreciate it. When Juan Soto hit the laser beam of a line drive home run that appeared to give the Mets a 3-0 lead, this was innings and innings before the Lindor home run, Jet, who's a very stoic fan, does not make a lot of noise, just kind of watch it happen, gives you a nice polite applause, does not scream and yell, just very matter of fact. As Soto is rounding the bases, he leans into me and says, very calmly and very badass, I must say, son, this was badass. He says, that wasn't a home run. It's just very, very casually, like, that wasn't a home run. Now, we're in the ballpark. We're sitting in the 300s. Like, we have a good view, but like I always say, I mean, I got to see a replay. I don't freaking know. It was very close, don't get me wrong, like off the top, I wasn't sure, but very calmly, that's not a home run. Obviously, they're going to have a crew chief review. I don't think there's any question. Anything that's close, you're always going to have the umpire say, hey, let's send it back and take a look. And you see the replay, and Jet was the one guy in the building who knew that was not a home run. And it stinks because it feels like we're getting teased and Soto's getting teased. He took a little bit of a step back today, did not have a big offensive performance outside of the home run. That wasn't a lot of weak ground balls. What was he, 0 for 4, whatever it was officially. But we are still waiting on that first Juan Soto home run at Citi Field.
The speed limit is 25 miles per hour.
I got it. We are waiting for that first Juan Soto home run. And we got a little bit of a tease, a little bit of a, here it is. Oh, wait, it's not. But luckily it didn't matter because the Mets were able to win anyway. But I give Jed credit. He saw off the bat, or at least as it went up onto that Coca-Cola corner, or whatever the hell they're calling it now, that it was a foul ball. But it is good to see that even on a night where Juan Soto takes a mini step back, you've got the captain, who is right now on a heater. We had to wait last year until what, June, for Francisco Lindor to get hot? And here we are, as Pete Alonso is, slowly quieting down, which was only natural, as Juan Soto takes a little bit of a step back with an 0-4. Here is Francisco Lindor on an absolute rampage. He gets 3 hits in the Thursday game, hits the walk-off home run in the Friday game. Even on Saturday where he took an 0-4, he's making great defensive plays. Has a big day on Sunday, was the Rico star of the series. Now, again, sets the tone with an early home run, which was always great, and then puts the game away, or at least we thought, and they were going to need every ounce of it with the way the bullpen almost broke in the 9th inning. Hits that laser beam of a home run that felt not exactly the same, but similar to the grand slam that he hit against Carlos Estevez in the National League Divisional Series. We are watching Lindor on an absolute roll right now, and it is great to see, and that's what you need from good teams. Everyone isn't going to click at the same time. There are going to be things on your roster that are not going perfectly. I mean, this is still a team that's down a handful of starting pitchers. This is still a team that hasn't seen Juan Soto reach his apex. This is still a team that has not gotten really much production out of DH until Monday night when Jesse Winker went deep. I mean, look at the numbers of Marte and Winker. You're dealing with Vientos, who's now missed 2.5 games in a row. Everything isn't perfect. Alvarez is still on the IL. McNeil is still on the IL. And here they are 9 games above 500 because guys are stepping up. And in this case, over the last 4 games or 5 games on this homestand, it's been Francisco Lindor. So freaking awesome. He's on a roll. This team is on a roll. 5 in a row now on this homestand. And hey, let's go get a split of these last 2 games against the Phillies. You leave the homestand by only losing 1 game. You end it with a 3-game lead. That's the goal for Tuesday night and Wednesday afternoon. Now, with that said, I'm getting on the bridge. I don't think my son needs to hear any more from me. He was in the show today listening, so he's heard a lot of dad talk, so I'm going to shut up. And the speed limit is something I'm going over, so I'm going to be careful now. But thank you very much for listening, downloading this little impromptu drive home Rico. Of course, when this series ends, it'll end on Wednesday afternoon. We'll have a Rico series recap at some point Wednesday night. Remember, download, rate, subscribe. We appreciate it. Thank you for listening to another victorious edition of Rico Brogna.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Rico Brogna podcast. It's amazing, isn't it? Make sure you download it now to keep it on you at all times.